Hi there, thank you for joining this presentation about the age of convenience and how intelligent self-service solutions can improve customer experiences. My name is Farouk Iftikhar. I am the Sales Director for the Intelligent Self-Service portfolio at Verint, covering the EMEA region.
And also me, James Brown, a Director here at Four O's. Four O's is a digital agency that's enjoyed a long-standing partnership with Verint. Both Verint and Four O's share a vision to make self-service interactions as simple and effective as possible. We commonly refer to this as intelligent self-service. Today we'll cover a few things in our presentation. What is the age of convenience and why you need to prepare for it? How customer expectations are evolving and how companies are responding. Finally, we'll share a few suggestions on how Verint and Four O's can help you prepare for the age of convenience.
To understand what the age of convenience is, we really need to look at how communications between people have evolved, what people use in their daily personal lives to actually communicate with each other.
First real form of communication between people was letters. People have been writing letters to one another for centuries. Letters weren't just sent between family and friends, but businesses also heavily relied on them. In actual fact, at one stage, paper was so expensive that instead of using an envelope, people would save money by folding the letter and sealing it with wax. Letter writing is a timeless form of communication. It has decreased in popularity, but we still all appreciate the excitement of receiving a letter in the post. The invention of the phone saw an inevitable decline in people writing letters. Over the years, the telephone has evolved to become the sophisticated business tool that we all know it to be today. It is incredible to think how much progress has been made since the first telephone call in 1876, when Alexander Bell called his assistant Watson and said, "Watson, come here, I want you." Telephones have fundamentally made it easier for businesses to communicate. Businesses began to use telephones to connect offices and to build a network of customers.
And then towards the end of the century, we saw the birth of the internet. So people started to use digital internet communication methods to talk to each other, specifically email. Email was being used to communicate between families, but also between enterprises and customers, and enterprises and their employees as well. The biggest change in how people communicate was smartphones. Right? The invention of smartphones about a decade ago really changed the world. It changed how people communicate with each other and what their expectations are when it comes to communication. So no longer do they need to hold something against their face or use a computer to send emails. They've got everything there in that one device. That one device is there where you can send emails, send text messages, make phone calls. You've got apps for everything. It's really become an extension of a person now. When we look around at how people use their smartphones, and usually you look around and there's always someone on the phone. When someone is on the phone, more often than not, they're using their fingers and thumbs, and that is what they find convenient right now.
AI might conjure images of data from Star Trek, yet the impact of artificial intelligence in everyday life is far-reaching. As consumers, we encounter it every day. Think of those times Amazon recommended a book or Netflix suggested a film. Recommendations are based on algorithms that examine what you bought or watched. They learn from purchases and use them to suggest other things. AI even filters your incoming emails, builds a model based on your preferences, and understands what is spam to you and what isn't. How often do you ask Siri a question? Do you order an Uber for Alexa or plan an appointment using Google? Each time you're interacting with AI. These assistants find the information that you've asked for and return the answers. Consider a bank. How many hours would it take an employee to sift through thousands of transactions? By the time they've noticed an error, your bank account could be empty or your credit card maxed out. Financial companies use AI to monitor transactions. They spot patterns and alert you to suspicious activity, potentially saving you thousands of dollars.
Which brings us to the age of convenience. Now, based on the last couple of slides, I'm sure you figured out what the age of convenience is, or what we believe the age of convenience is. The age of convenience is people wanting information and responses which are fast, easy, and convenient for them. And what is fast, easy, and convenient for them? Fast, easy, and convenient for them is something that they're actually used to using in their personal lives. If you've got a problem with your computer, what's the first thing that you do? You pick up your phone, you go on Google, you type in what you want, and one of the search results is actually going to help you out there. You want to have something ordered, you need a keyboard by tomorrow. You go online, you go to an online shop, you order next day delivery, and you have it delivered to your house. You don't leave your house to actually get this kind of stuff done anymore. It's all handled by this one device in your hand, which I mentioned before has become an extension of you as a person. All of these technological advancements has made people's lives much easier than they used to be. While we're not quite at the Wall-E stage, the principle is the same. Receive everything that you need without needing to leave your seat. That is the age of convenience. And while we're talking about the age of convenience, we genuinely believe that these personal experiences that people have with how they communicate with each other has shaped their expectations on how they want to communicate with the enterprise. If they are using their eyes and their thumbs to communicate with their friends, with their families, why can't they use their eyes and their thumbs to communicate with you as well? So customers are now expecting engagement on their terms. And let's go through a few examples of what I mean by their terms. Now, the first one is they're using smart speakers more and more these days. Smart speakers to turn their lights on, turn their lights off, to know what the weather's going to be, to play music. If that is what they're used to using, and if that's their convenience, then allow them to communicate with you via smart speaker as well. Companies are using smart speakers today to be able to give bank balances, do shopping, add items to shopping lists, purchase items and have them delivered on a particular date. If companies have already started doing it, then that is definitely something you should be looking at as well. Online knowledge is a fantastic way of being able to support your customers. More often than not, enterprises have knowledge in-house. Now that knowledge is being used by your support staff or your internal employees, but that knowledge could be helpful to your customers. So why not surface it for them on a web self-service platform? Make it easy for them to find the knowledge that they need. Now this knowledge, if it's going to be on a web self-service platform, is going to be SEO optimized. So when they come to Google to have an issue, and if they search it on Google, they're going to find your knowledge. And your knowledge is the knowledge that's going to help them. Unlike other knowledge, which may actually make their impression of your company and your products worse. You want to make sure that you are in control of what your customers are finding and in control of those conversations as well.
Online communities are naturally suited to customer support. By giving customers a go-to place to ask questions, your company can create a support environment that sits alongside your support teams. The best type of customer support portal is the one that provides peer-to-peer support whilst allowing users to escalate directly to customer service reps. By creating an online community with both options, you provide a better customer support experience and help differentiate your brand. Not all customer service conversations are about problems. Sometimes customers simply need advice on what products best solve their problems. Save your support team the time and allow your customers to answer these inquiries for you. An online community not only publicly documents how to fix problems, it allows fellow customers to offer solutions. How many times a day is your support team answering the same questions? When customers seek help, they contribute to a user-generated, ever-updating searchable manual. This means any future customer can search within a community, find their questions, and importantly, get a resolution. The world is on WhatsApp. from old school friends to new acquaintances. It makes sense that businesses would also be on WhatsApp. After all, it has a global user base of over 2 billion users. In 2018, they launched WhatsApp Business. It allows companies to have a distinct business profile and showcase products and services. Now, also thanks to chatbots built into the platform, customers can simply open up WhatsApp, ping a brand a question, and get an immediate response. This is a welcome addition to customer support teams. Instant replies make it possible to provide immediate support. Issues that don't need to be escalated to a human agent can be effectively nipped in the bud right on the chat. More than ever, brands are looking for solutions that delight customers to ensure that they keep coming back. That's why in-store self-service kiosks play such an important role. Who's driving this change? Millennials. This generation, unlike their parents, want fast technology-based solutions. By following prompts and guides, customers can learn about a product, make a decision, and receive answers to commonly asked questions. Providing best customer service requires time, effort, and professionalism. In-store kiosks remove some of the pressure and provide customers with everything they need in a self-service form.
Proper voice self-service. And when I say proper voice self-service, I don't mean the DTMF tones where you call someone and it says press 1 to go to another menu, press 2 for another, etc., etc. And before you know, you tapped in 3 numbers and you've got to a stage where it's not transferring you to a human and it frustrates you. What I'm talking about is true AI self-service. So when you pick up the phone and you ring an enterprise, you tell them what it wants, and the actual voice self-service solution will understand what your problem is. It will try and help you with your problem, and if it can't help you, it will then divert you and transfer you to the correct person in-house who can help you with your problem. How much easier is that? Why do you want your customers to be typing in keys every time when they phone you up? Make it quick, make it easy and convenient. An online chat functionality where customers can come and actually use a chatbot to get the answer that they're looking for. And the chatbot will be able to provide them an answer they're looking for in a conversational way. So speak to the bot how you would speak to a human to get the answers that you're looking for. And these are just some examples of how you can make it convenient for your customers to be able to communicate with you beyond email or voice channels. Make it convenient for them using intelligent self-service solutions.
When we've been talking about convenience, we've been referring to self-service strategies, but it doesn't need to be just self-service. These tools can also be used for assisted service. The most mature organisations are moving towards an integrated model where agents support both voice and digital. For example, we can give agents capabilities which include voice, email, web, IM, SMS. And this approach gives companies flexibility when managing agent resource. Also, customers are able to interact with the same agent across different channels to get their issues resolved.
And while we're talking about customers, let's not forget about one of your customers, your own employees. You can make it convenient for your employees while they go about their daily jobs. Make them more productive by making their lives easier. One of the most common mistakes that we see today when companies do have some kind of self-service strategy is that they provide silos. Now, these silos of information are not connected to each other. So you might have a company that has a knowledge base, say, on a website. They may have a community somewhere and a chatbot somewhere as well. All of these platforms are just not tied in together. And if they're not tied in together, what you end up doing is providing different information at each different point. You're not sharing that knowledge between those different products that you've got, and you're providing an experience which is not good for the customer. Now, if a customer goes on a website and he reads a piece of information, or the bot on a website, for example, tells the customer an answer to their query, when they phone into your contact center, you want to make sure that they're getting that same consistent answer. You're not going to be able to do that if they're all silos, if they're all separate pieces of information. Make sure it's all consistent for your customers that are communicating with you. So instead of silos of engagement, bring them all together and you have yourselves an ecosystem of engagement.
It's critical to join the different conversation points together to ensure that your customers and employees are getting the same consistent answers wherever they communicate from. Often, it's blatantly clear to customers that the channels are siloed, particularly when no information about an interaction is shared cross-channel. This is increasingly frustrating as it means that first identification has to be re-established, and secondly, re-explaining that problem all over again that needs to be resolved. Customers have far more control than they ever did in the past. They're also increasingly perceptive and pay attention to every little detail. Your business cannot afford to compromise on any component of the customer journey. And that's where Variant and Foros can help you. We can build a strategy. If you already have a strategy, we can help improve that strategy using our experience and solutions. We're here to help you connect the dots.
Intelligent self-service goes beyond basic self-service. It's all about catering for your employees and your customers during this age of convenience. Let's look at the state of self-service today. So around about 70% of companies have some kind of basic self-service. That might be knowledge articles on your website, it might be an online chatbot, it might be some basic forum somewhere. You're doing something, but it is very basic. You're not getting the full experience that you can achieve by using intelligent self-service. There's only really 22% of enterprises today that are using intelligent self-service. Connecting the dots, make sure that you're providing an experience to your customers that they're used to using in their daily personal lives. But overall, 63% of enterprises do believe that they have a poor self-service strategy. Now, where are you today? Are you using basic self-service, intelligent self-service, or have you got a poor experience? So let's say basic self-service is 1, intelligent self-service is 2, and poor experience is 3. We've got a chat window down here, so if you could just put that in. It's entirely up to you if you want to or not, but it'd be great to see where you believe you are at today. So let's take a look at how we've helped some customers in the past. The first one is a customer support community that we've created. Now, this customer support community has got integration with their CRM, it's got integration with their knowledge, bringing that onto the actual portal itself, and it's also got help desk integration as well, where you can create tickets on the community platform itself. Now, they've had some great benefits on this community, such as a 33% reduction in support ticket creation. Now, why are they getting a reduction in support ticket creation? Simply because it's something that we've already mentioned and something that I'm sure James is going to mention again. Information that is on a community is there for the foreseeable future. So if I have a problem with a specific product or a service, if I post that question online and then someone resolves that question, someone answers that question and it's a verified answer, then the next person who has that same question doesn't need to ask it again. They don't need to contact support. Because if they've gone to Google, they're going to find your community and they're going to find that answer. Online communities are having new content created every single day, and just through the sheer amount of content that's being created, that increases the SEO of your website. And Google today already understands if you've got a problem with a product, and it will point you towards the forum or community on the domain of the product or service that they have an issue with. Google's clever, but it's not going to be able to help you if you don't have something there already for Google to find. Instead, what Google will find, if you don't have your own online community, is a different community which might support multiple products, and they might give incorrect answers. They've had a 38% increase in first contact resolution. So how do you increase first contact resolution through having a community? Well, quite simply, they've got an integration with a CRM. With a CRM, you get information such as where a person lives, what products somebody has purchased, and that's pretty much it. You don't know who that person is, what their expertise is, but a community has that data. How people interact in the community is how you can learn more about that particular person. So you can understand whether they're an expert in a particular field, or whether they don't have much knowledge at all, or whether they've already had a particular issue in the past. So when it comes to a ticket being created by a particular person who's active in the community, when the response is generated, you know if you need to be very technical with the person you're responding to, or just be very basic with the person you're responding to, because you know the expertise of that person based on how they interact on the community. Moving on to the AI world now. So we have a customer, it's a financial institution. They've got our assistant, a virtual assistant installed to help their customers, but also to help their agents. So it is a customer support platform and an agent assist platform. Now I'm going to give you an example of what happens in daily life, and this is using all Verint products. So if I want to make a financial investment, I would call this financial investment company and I'll say something like, I've got 5,000 that I want to invest, can you give me some advice? Now while I'm saying that on the phone to a financial services agent, our speech analytics platform is picking up what I'm saying, it's pushing that through to the AI solution, and is presenting the responses direct to the agent. So the AI solution is going to be able to see whether I'm high risk or low risk. It integrates with 400 solutions in the back end to see all the different products that are available, what kind of investments I've made in the past, and it makes educated guesses at the types of investments that I want to be making and presents them to the financial advisor. The financial advisor would then present that back to the customer on the phone, or me in this case. So within a matter of seconds, I know the recommendations of what I should be investing in. Before we had this AI solution in place, the financial services agent would take somewhere in the region of about 20 to 25 minutes to go through all the different solutions to find out exactly what the best solution should be for this customer that's calling on the phone. And sometimes he'd have to tell them that he would call them back after a certain period of time, and he'd be off the phone and they'd be working away on the computer, searching through all the different products. Now, they don't need to do that. The information is provided to them to provide to their customer. So it's fast, it's convenient, and it is easy. Another AI solution. So this is a HR assistant which is being created for a company that offers HR services to multiple different companies, and that means there's multiple different integrations into the different company databases to connect with who the employees are, who should have access, their PTO information, their contact information, etc. So this is a bot which takes care of all of your HR needs. If you want to know how much time off you've got remaining, speak to the bot. If you want to book some time off, again, speak to the bot. You want to learn more about your compensation, your wages, your salary, your pension, any of those questions are answered by this agent. Now, if you think about where we are today, the majority of people are working from home now. They're not actually going into the office right now. In this scenario, it's fantastic to have this bot, because this bot is actually helping these people that are at home. We've got home workers who are going to have HR queries. Now, when they've got HR queries, it's not necessarily going to be 9 to 5. It might be middle of the night. They realize they need to ask something of HR. They can go straight onto the app, use that solution to get the answer that they need. This solution also creates tickets as well. So if the solution cannot be answered, and if a human is not online to be able to carry on that conversation, it will automatically create a ticket for them for a human to answer at some point at a later date.
Nordic Semiconductor is based in Norway. They specialise in providing low-power wireless chips for use in consumer electronics like your phone or laptop. It has more than 60,000 registered users and more than 40,000 requests logged into a ticketing system. The company also runs an online public community where developers seek help from their peers. Managing these two platforms separately, side by side, wasn't efficient. Users had separate logins, and there was no way to check if a case has been raised in the community before creating a support ticket. Nordic wanted to reduce the demand placed on its team of support engineers, and this would happen by running the ticketing system and its online community through a single platform. The new platform was built by Foros using Verint Community. This is another example of Verint extensibility, where building and support functionality into another platform would have been very challenging. Moving from two platforms to a single system immediately removed the burden for Nordic overseeing and maintaining two separate platforms. Questions that arise in public forums and questions that come in via private messages are managed in a single location. Support engineers don't have to jump back and forth between two systems. This enhanced experience for the community also makes it easier for users to take queries to the community rather than directly to Nordic, and this is further reducing the burden on support. Despite already being a household name in the world of photography, Olympus had the vision to support and grow their customers across Europe. To do this, they wanted to find a solution that would allow them to bring people together to share their love of photography, feel inspired, and get support when they needed it. The solution could not just be any forum. It would need to include features that would allow them to build and increase loyalty in a controlled and measurable way. Olympus selected Verint Community, as unlike other vendors, a key benefit was that many of the engagement and loyalty features came out of the box. This enabled Olympus to gain a strong arsenal of community tools and help them to avoid those larger costs down the line. Together with their clear vision and strategy, Olympus, Verint and Foros set off to create My Olympus, a community where members can share photos, compete in contests and get tips on the latest techniques. With over 400,000 members across Europe, My Olympus achieved its vision of bringing people together who share a passion for photography and Olympus products. Olympus understands that building a thriving community is an ongoing process that requires continual observation, improvements and upgrades. An example is the integration with their CRM, which enables them to identify and establish the type of user, whether that be a hobbyist or a professional, and then tailor personalized content to them within the community. With other community platforms on the market, there can be a glass ceiling of what you can achieve. However, this is where Verint excels. It's built for extensibility and has allowed Olympus and Foros to create experiences that are unique to the brand. In collaboration with Verint and Foros, Olympus has made its vision come to life, creating one of the most thriving digital support and engagement communities.
So I just want to leave you with one quote today. From Gartner, they say that customers will manage 85% of their relationship with the enterprise without interacting with a human. Now, do you already have the methods and the tools in place for your customers to be able to do that? If not, that is definitely something you should be looking into, and it is something that the Intelligent Self-Service Solutions can help you with. Thank you for joining our session today. We appreciate that you took the time out to view this session. If you've got any questions, you can find Verint Intelligent Self-Service or Foros on this platform itself. You can even book some meetings with us so we can carry on the conversation and see how we can actually help you today. Thank you very much.